Hello there. Today we're going to be building a Minecraft village in a modern style. Okay, I just want to mention I sounded like a robot while I did that intro. I don't know why. That's really weird. Now, I usually suck at modern builds, but recently I've been trying to learn how to do them better, especially with this motel over here. So I think I could transfer that over into a much bigger build, which is like a mini city. What I've decided to do with this is like get things like the blacksmith and make it into a pawn shop, and get the the tall buildings and make them into apartments, and then get things like the church and make it into a church. We've also got like a ton of other things. I don't really want to run through all of them with you because there's quite a few, but I'll probably do something similar to that towards the end. But not to waste any more of your time, I'm going to go ahead and do the time lapse. For the first building, I thought the pawn shop would be the best one to make, and it's because it's got a very similar style to the motel I had just made, and I could transfer a lot of the skills I had just learned from that into this new build. Okay, so this has been a little more stressful than I thought, and it's a lot less fun than when I built that guy, because that guy was quite fun to build. But with this one, it's a lot more, over the top, a lot more dingy, a lot more dirty, and I tried to emulate that, and I don't know if I've done such an amazing job. And working with brick can sometimes be a bit frustrating because you don't always get the right textures or the right shapes, so it can look a little bland sometimes. So I'm hoping that I'm pulling off here quite a good usage of like dinginess and dirtiness without going over the top on like vines or moss, because sometimes I'll do that with brick. I'll think like this is the only way to make it look good is if I add like a little bit of green in to contrast it, but there isn't much green I can add into like a city landscape. So instead I've tried to contrast it with lots of yellow, bright vibrant yellows with like the sail, the pawn shop sign, and hopefully that adds a little more color in. When I come back to this, hopefully in like a day, maybe I'll finish this. I'll see if I can add anything else. Maybe there's like a button that I can add or whatever somewhere that will add a little more color to it, that makes the base look a little more alive. Smallest details do matter. I just need to figure out which ones work with this one. For the next build, I went through quite a few different variations at the beginning. I really couldn't figure out what I wanted to do because it was originally supposed to be an apartment, but it had such a weird shape to it, and I didn't really know how to fit that in. Then it reminded me of this, it's a theatre that I live by, and I tried making it into a rundown theatre, which I think worked very well. Sometimes you'll build something in Minecraft and you'll love it off the bat, and it will be a really fun building process, and you'll get all the way through without any problems, and you'll love it. This build that I just did here, originally going to be an apartment, I decided to turn it into like a rundown theatre. And using bricks in Minecraft building is my least favorite thing to do. But sadly, this is like the design of those first two areas, because I had to add a little contrast, and I'm already terrified of those bricks over there. But with this build here, it took so long I've been working on it all day just trying to make it look nice, and that was stressful. But I don't really know, even now I'm not over the top really happy with how it looks, but I can't really make it any better. And there are a few places that I'd go like, yeah, I think that looks really neat and really nice. And there are bits where I think the texturing turned out really cool, like this little broken corner. I do like that. That looks very neat. And this little chunk here. And I based it off something I've seen IRL, not online. Look at that. I go outside, and it's this rundown theatre that I live by, and it's very 50s. It looks like it was shut down a long time ago. I'm not really certain about all the stuff behind it, but I know I searched up some images of it, and I used it as like a basic idea, especially with these like curved windows and things. But I think in the end it turned out looking very nice. To an extent where, when contrasted with this building now, this neighborhood's already looking a bit rougher, and hopefully as we go along we can make this stop looking so terrible, and we can add a little variation to it, and it should look pretty cool. For the fish and tackle store, I kind of did a complete 180 with the colors, with the design, with the shape, basically with everything. I did like a slanted roof, which I hadn't done yet, and I wasn't even sure if I was gonna do one of these because it is a sort of city setting, and there's like big glass windows on the front, and I think in the end it did have a kind of Viking-y style to it, which looked really nice. And the next building I decided to try out was like a science lab. I don't know, I've never really built one like that before, but it looked Very nice. And with the church, that was a little difficult too, because I was incorporating a texture with lots of colours in it. We've got 2 buildings left. The little archery place here, the Fletcher, I called it a military base in the end, because that's what I was thinking of. And we've got a mattress store, which, can you guess? It's the Shepherds. Now, with the church here, I was trying to think of what I wanted to do, and I went through a couple ideas, and there's like some churches out there in big cities like Hillsong, things like that, where it's like, you know, they're over the top a bit. They show off a lot. I'm not saying it's terribly bad or whatever, but you know, the types of churches I like, they're like a little smaller, a little more not run down, but you know, a church is the people. So that's what I tried to emulate here. A bit of a rundown building, but it's got the essence, it's got the energy. Either way, we've got a really big city now. Not really big city, a very small city. But there's 2 buildings left. And once we do that, we can start figuring anything else out. Now here comes the military base, the one I was dreading building. Not really. The colours were very bright, and I was wondering if I could pull it off, but I think in the end I did. And, you know, it's really cool. And with the mattress store as well, that's very interesting, because I wouldn't thought I'd pull that off either. I thought it was going to look so bland. Okay, so it's done. Luckily for me, I don't have to work on this anymore, because I don't like making modern things. I think I say that a lot in my videos. I actually didn't mind this one so much though. These bases were like, a lot of detailing was required at first, especially with the brick ones, because this is supposed to be the more, you know, rubbish side of town. Then I tried to slowly make it look nicer and nicer until when you get to the end, it's like lots of banners and like open space. I don't know if that worked out too much, and this open space here just kind of made the area look bland. But I think I did pull off a couple areas that look really nice, like this building here. I really love how this one comes out. It's probably my favourite building that I did out of any of them, just all the minor designs. It wasn't too over detailed either. It was just something I could be really proud of. And there's lots of other bases here that I really love, like this one here. That one's got a really cool roof texture. When you see it from far away, at least looks kind of broken. That by far is my favourite texture that I've done today. I didn't even know that was a texture, but it's got a really cool like purpley wood thing, shadowed. It just looks really cool, and I love the design of that texture. And I learned a ton of building techniques and a ton of little things I can do. And one thing that I have done in the past, and I found out, and I started doing it in my video where I built an adventure map, is in modern builds you can use these redstone torches, little end bits from far away. You stop noticing the wood, and they look like little red lights, and they're really cool. I guess that's what you get when you're a redstone torch, but you know, you get that little red light effect, which is really neat. And you know, for the entire base, now the only base here that isn't really super detailed is probably this one and that one. Towards the end I wasn't detailing things as much because I didn't really know how to not make them look ugly when I detailed them. Probably this one though, because I tried to make it look like it was made of like metal, had metal walls and things. I did try small things, but the colours in the end didn't really work as well as I would have hoped, but it's a little too late now to fix it. And this one here, it was a little under detailed at first, but I added a couple cool windows in. I'm really proud of those look really nice. And I added a couple other details like these windows, and you know, the roof texture and little things like that as well also help bring the base together. So yeah, everything is done now. This whole base is done. I wonder how I'm gonna do the screenshot for the thumbnail, because if I if I run away a little too far, all the other stuff goes out of view like that. So maybe it's gonna have to be something like on the ground here, super zoomed in, or I don't know, something like that maybe. I don't know. I'll figure something out. You'll already know because you've seen it in the thumbnail. But yeah, wow, all done. All done. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. If you have any ideas for other videos, please put them in the comments below. And also, if you want to see more stuff like this, put in the comments too. Because I always love to hear your suggestions. I always love to see people saying, like, build a military base. I actually did have that. A very long time ago, someone said, build a military base. And I just never got around to it. So, to that one person, look what I've done. I've built your military base. I'm going to stop wasting time now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.